Friday night. It's Friday night. Let's fix my camera a little so to get a little bit more of the desk. Maybe a little bit more this way. And we'll leave it just like that for now. It's a little wiggly. It's Friday night. Yeah, it's time to do some art. While we're waiting for folks to come in, I'm going to set up my tablet here so I can see what's going on. YouTube, get rid of all these notifications. Me, my channel, and live. There we are. Hi, Giovanna. Hi, Nina. Hi, Barb. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Sharon. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome. I have a list tonight. I have a list. So, I went to find a photo on, and it's on my camera up there. Well, we might have to change my plans on one of these things. I just have my calendar out for, I did this morning. People don't choose their careers. They are engulfed by them. Yeah, I imagine they are. And I worked this morning in my watercolor jam journal. I got the first page done. I think I'm going to work on the second page, but not right now. What do I have out that I want to do? I want to do, you want to do this, the Meri Mystery Mind Map Journal. Funky painty papers that are coffee dyed. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Aunt Beck. Aunt Beck, I watched your stream. I always miss Aunt Beck's impromptus. I always miss them. Let's take this off of my desk. Where am I going to put it? On the floor? Iced tea. I'm drinking iced tea tonight. So this is the box that, it's got some tears in here. So I'm going to use the other side. But this is the box that Rhonda sent. Rhonda gifted me. Today I opened it in my morning stream. Rhonda gifted me this wonderful scoreboard. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Just bless her art cart. So, I have to decide here. I thought I would just sit and say hello to people for a little bit. Hi, Shelley. Welcome, welcome. Who did I miss? Suzanne. Good morning, Good morning, Suzanne. Good evening, Suzanne. Welcome, welcome. Mina. Hi, Mina. Oh, I did take a nap this afternoon after I watched Barb's stream. So that's how come I missed Becky's stream. Then I watched a movie, and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up and I watched Becky's replay. That's how my day went today. How did your day go? Hi, Judy. Welcome, Judy. Hi, Janet. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I think there's enough people in here that I'm comfortable in getting started. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use this side. And this is plenty big, but I need to cut it down a little. Yes. I don't think Rhonda realized that when she sent this to me, that she was actually sending me a cover for my mystery journal. She probably said, oh, Mary's going to use her roses. This is just perfect. And I'm going to tear it. I'm going to tear it on the edges like Lisa did. But I got to get it off of the box here first. And I guess because it's going to be funky, it doesn't matter if it's not even. Let's get my list off of the sheet here. One more. And Becky, you got some pretty fabric at your fabric place, your bins. I was laughing at her when she was telling about the carts. She said these adult people pushing these huge carts look like kids. Okay, now I think I can cut this off right in here. And I'm kind of holding it up in the air right now. Oops, I might have bumped the camera. I'm not seeing, here, let me get my tablet out. Maybe, do I need to zoom in a little? No, I think I'm okay. Let's just get this cut down to size here. Get the ends cut off. Okay. Now I think I'll get my cutting mat out, if I can get to it. My wall, right at 7 o'clock, my surge protector came unplugged from my wall, and I had to pull out all my carts here to get to it, to plug it back in. That was a job. I'm going to be late. Let's pull it this way a little. All right, so this is 18 inches this way, which leaves, and I think Tanya said this is really just perfect the way it is. Because if this is 18 inches, this probably is about, what, 5 inches more, would you say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 inches more. So that's about 23 inches. Half of 22 is 11, and that would leave me a 1 inch. And I think I would want a 2 inch. 1 3/4, I think they said. I got to do some arithmetic. I've got to do some arithmetic. I'm so bad with arithmetic. All right. So 23 inches divided by 2 is equal to 11.5. And how do I want to do that? 11.5 would be right about in here. And I can do this almost visually. I want 1 3/4. A half of 1 3/4 is 3/4, and 3/4 is 1 1/2, and a half of a fourth is an eighth. So 1 1/2 from 11 would be 10. It would be right about in there. And I could leave my 1/8. Let me mark this here. Let me mark it. Let me mark it. Here's the half point here. I'm going to paint all this anyway. Here's the half point. and I want 1 3/4. A half of 1 3/4 is 3/4. 1, 2, 3/4 is there, and 3/4 and an eighth right about there, and 3/4. What did I say? 11 and a half. 1, 2, 3. Right, a half. Right about here. Let's see if I measured right. You get to watch Mary figure out her arithmetic here. So there's 3/4 and 1/8, and 3/4, and just about right. So that is where I want to make my Janet says, I need to get one of those beaded things for my pen. Hi, Becky. Janet says, hi, Trace. Hi, Tina. Welcome, ladies. Wrap the cap in masking tape for now. Take 3/4 from each side of the measurement for your spine. That's about, well, that's what I did, but then I allowed 1/8. I took 3/4 and then I allowed 1/8 for, thank you, Becky. Let's make sure I got 3/4 from this side. Yeah, then I allowed 1/8, kind of 1/8 for the, let me get this underneath here. And I'm going to bend and fold it, I think. I'm going to try to bend and fold it. All right, let's put this on the 4 mark. If it's on the 4, I got 1, 2, 3/4. Right here is 3/4, and then I am allowing an 1/8 inch for the bend. And then 4 1/2, 4 3/4 is here, and about an 1/8 inch for the bend. I'm gonna put my phone over there. And this is for sure 11 1/2. Is that what I wanted? 11 1/2 and 11 1/2 is 23. That's what I want over here. 11 1/2 and 3/4 and an 1/8 and 12 and 1/4 and an 1/8. And I'm just going to draw a line. Hopefully this will bend. It's corrugated. There. And this is the end of the spine here. About, here comes a train. And here comes this side. That must be a fast train because I can hear it roaring down the track. Sometimes I can't hear the, you know, the chugga 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 on the tracks, and I can hear it tonight. And we don't have the doors open. Boy, it got warm today, though. It got kind of warm today. Now, let's see. Before I try to bend it, I'm going to do the Lisa thing here, and I'm going to just kind of draw some curves, and hopefully I can cut this with my. Let's see. Let's make this curve go like that up to here, and curve down. I don't know what I'm doing. They're calling it a, what did they call it? A funky art journal. But they curved the edges. Let's see, I think I'll bring that down more like that. It'll be different after I cut it for sure. All right, I think I'm happy with that. And I'm just going to hopefully cut this with my utility knife. And if it doesn't work, I got another side. And if that doesn't work, I'll have to find another box. Oh, that cut pretty good. Didn't cut so good in here. Keep your fingers out of the way when you do this. Now I'm pretty happy with that. I'll trim that off. That gets thrown away. Now, I might have to move my camera a little. Let's see if I can do it on this side. Let's turn it this way. Get my lamp out of the way. Have that up there. I might jerk on that pole a little. Pull my lamp, it can come back a little more. And I'm just kind of roughly, since they said it's a funky one, I'm not going to worry about it being too straight and beautiful. That worked. Yeah. Rhonda Jenkins, thank you for the cardboard box. It's just perfect for this. It's just perfect for this. Now, let's do this side. And move it back over here. So, this morning, when I was working on my projects and not paying attention to chat, I said, Mary's in her world. She'll come out soon. I'll come out. So when I work on my projects, I'm not following chat. So I'll be out soon. I'll be out in a minute. I'm trying to get this tape off. I don't want this tape on there. I don't think the paper will matter so much. Well, oh, you know what I want to try? I was reading Danny had left a comment on Aunt Bex that if you heat these labels, they'll lift right up. Look at that. Oh, what a great tip, Danny Coleman. I got a little bump there, but that's okay for a bump. Maybe I'll cut my circle there. Maybe I'll cut my circle up in there. Have this be the front, the 266 be the front. I wonder if that'll work on this tape too. Oh, it does. Look at that. Just heat it and it comes right up. It comes right up. Oh, what a great tip. What a great tip. There's some more over here. You can credit Danny Coleman for this. If you got a stuck label or stuck tape on your project, or if you're using a mailing label on an envelope, just heat that and that will come right up. Oh, bless Danny's heart. Kind of hot. Yay. Okay, now let me do this side. See, there's no Actually, I think I like this side better. It doesn't have that hole. I'm going to put this on the back, but I'm still going to take the labels off. Yay! I love how that works. See, I learned something today. I learned something. I learn something from you guys all the time. I'm always learning from you all. That needs a little bit more. And then there's some more over here. What a great tip. So read the comments left on the videos. You guys, you leave good suggestions for each other. So if you have time, go through the comments and see if anybody left any good tips, good hints. You gals are always giving me help. Yeah. I got a little more up in here. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to melt that glue on this tape. Just enough to get it started, and there you go. There it is. What a great tip. Let me throw this away. And I still have this side to cut over here. So this is Tanya and Lisa's project, or really it's Tanya's, but it's Lisa's working with Tanya on it, and it is the Tanya's mystery journal. And she said she didn't even tell Lisa what the mystery was, and we were watching it Monday night. We were all trying to guess what the mystery was. I think some of you guessed it. She made you email her. The hint is Lisa and Tanya, in quotes, channel each other. And now I'm thinking, I guessed all sorts of stuff. There's a hole in here. We're going to cut a hole. And I said, that's a toilet hole. Sure enough, that's a toilet hole. No, Mary, that's not what it is. Well, that's what it looks like. All right. So I'm going to do the Lisa thing here, and I'm going to tear along the edges. Now, it might take a little bit to do this, but we've got a little bit, don't we? And this is corrugated. Can I get it started here? Because, oh yeah, I might have to do a light. To get a hold of this. Ooh, I like doing this. Now, this is on the inside, though. I don't want it on the inside. I want it on the outside. Okay, okay. That corner will be a little weak for a bit. All right, let's curve this a little more. Oh, I didn't cut curves in there. Let's cut the curve over here. I thought I did. I didn't go all the way. Oh, and there's some tape here. Okay, there's some tape here in the corner. I'm removing the tape because I'm going to paint it, and I don't want the paint to just slip right across the tape. You know, tape will resist the paint. Okay, so let's take a break and look at chat, Mary. Do I hear another train coming? I do. Here comes another train. Boy, they're busy tonight. So this is going to be the outside. So this is the corner that I want to, this is the side I want to pull the I'm going to take a break and read chat. What's going on here? Here comes another train. Hi, Valerie. Welcome, welcome. Going down the rabbit hole. Is it a rabbit hole? Janet says, going down the rabbit hole. Hi, Nashwa. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Janice. Is Lisa in here? Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Hi, Allie K. Welcome, welcome. If you guys have not watched, go to Lisa Conway's channel and watch her stream from last Monday night. That's when they were working on this mystery journal. So fun to watch them work on it. Allie K, glad you got your internet sorted out. It's not sorted out. I'm using my phone. Now, tonight, I'm using my phone off of my Wi-Fi. So, and not off of the Verizon Unlimited data, because I was afraid that Verizon would, even though I've got unlimited, if you get up above 20K, they start getting suspicious of your limited data. So I am streaming off of my mobile phone on Wi-Fi, which tells me this buffering is not internet related. It has to be my laptop or the Ethernet cord. And the two things that I'm going to do this weekend is I'm going to reinstall Windows. I'm going to wipe out my Windows. I'm going to reset the computer and reinstall Windows. Because I do know when I did that last Windows update, it was trying to update while I was streaming, you know, and it could have stomped on a DLL or something. And the other thing that we're going to do is get a new Ethernet cord. And if that doesn't solve it, I don't know. I don't know what to do next. But yeah, I got tired of the buffering. And I thought, well, you know, I've got my tablet here and I've got the phone, so let's just go on Wi-Fi. Mary, watch your spine. Mine folded in 3 places and it's very mushy. Oh, okay, Trace. I will. Hi, Holly. Welcome, Holly. Hi, Mary, too. No buggering tonight. Nope, Mary, it's not a buggering here. Allie K says, you're going to take out your windows? Stay warm. My brother might have something to say about that because he doesn't like it when I open the door. Like I would have loved to have some fresh air this weekend because it's kind of warm. It got up into the 50s today. I think it's supposed to get up into the 60s this weekend, even into the 70s. I think I saw on the newspaper. And I'm going, man, it would be nice to open the door and let some fresh air in here. But he doesn't like me to open the door unless it gets hotter than 74 outside. Then I can open the door. Otherwise, if I open the door and let cool air in, then he's got his thermostat set at 74 and it'll start using heat. So if I want fresh air, I got to go for a walk outside. You open your house any chance you get. Fresh air is good for you. Yes, I know it is, Becky. And, you know, when you got a brother, he can be stubborn sometimes. I had a laugh tonight because I made popcorn while I was watching Barb Owens. I ate popcorn and I just wasn't hungry for supper. And he always cooks supper. That's he enjoys doing it. So I just let him do it. And I wonder if I can get a hold of I don't know what I did with my palette knife. Let's get a hold of something I can get a hold of. Maybe my tweezers. But I had to laugh tonight. I said, don't cook a hamburger for me tonight. I'm full. You know, and I was. I didn't really want anything. That popcorn filled me up. And he looked at me and he put the skillet away. And I said, well, you can make you one. And he says, well, if you're not going to eat one, I'm going to make a tuna sandwich. So he made him a tuna sandwich. I'm going, well, he says, He says, I got to make you something for supper so you'll eat. He says, you have to eat every day. I'm going, that's how I'm gaining weight. It's all my brother's fault. I'm not gaining too much. It's just being inside in the winter. When it gets nice out, I'll be out working in the yard and all of that. But I had a laugh when he found out I didn't want a hamburger. He didn't want to cook one. So, okay. That's all right with me. I'm looking for my scissors here. And did you all watch Barb Owens this afternoon? She did a door page. It was a very interesting art journal page, but I couldn't get her to do a pop-up mandala. She said, no, Mary, no pop-up mandalas. Aww. He says, I'm not tackling that today. So, no pop-up mandalas. I can't get this out. So my mystery journal is going to be a Meri Mindmap Mysteries with coffee-dyed painted papers. So I might do a session where I'm coffee dyeing papers. And if I remember right, Janet said that she put strong coffee, she made strong coffee and put it in a sprayer. But then what, you kept the coffee grounds? How did you do the rest, Janet? Would you tell us how you did that? Your coffee dye stuff? Because I'm going to coffee dye some of this. Let me get it out here. I need to bind my February journal. But I'm going to coffee dye some of this type of paper. This is what I'm going to put in here. Now, I don't understand, though. Are my margins too big? Are my top and bottom? I'm not understanding why she left such. She said to leave 2.5 or a good 2 inches, and I'm not sure about that. I guess I'll find out. If it's too big, I'll cut it down. I'll have to be careful where I put my circle in case I have to cut it down a little. Hi, Super Beth. Welcome, welcome. Giovanna has cookies and all sorts of treats for everybody. Janet, extra clothes and blankets. Trace, that's too cold. Janet, no sign of spring. Oh, no. Violet said, hi, Violet. Violet said, I had a piece of flounder and some cheesy garlic biscuits. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Mary, too, it's -21 with the wind chill here tonight. All right, let's flip this and do the long side. So I'm putting you all over here on my other cart for a moment while I work on my sides here. Now, what I'm doing is kind of taking this utility knife and kind of not cutting all the way through, but I'm cutting the top layer so I can tear. And then I'm going back, hopefully, and finding a good spot here to get in. Here. And this was what Lisa was doing the other night. I think Tanya just painted her borders. But I love this torn distress stuff. There. Am I getting it? Oh, that's glued down pretty good, I have to say. That's... Can I get it with my scissors? It's going to be distressed, that's for sure. Let's come with my scissors again here. And break a fingernail on this stuff. You guys can see what I'm doing? I guess you can. Boy, that's really glued down good. There. I love that. I love that rough look to it. See if I can't just work some of this under here. That seems to work good. So tomorrow's my night to, my day to sit back and, boy, I'll tell you, I'm getting the ache to go thrifting and garage sailing, but I think what I'll do tomorrow is work in that dining room. And I have a stack of books and a stack of papers that need to be sorted out. So I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'll get it all cleaned out, but I'll get a good dent out of it. So I think I'm going to make that my goal for tomorrow. Convince my brother that I'm actually going to clean it up. I hope you're not planning on leaving that there all summer. I mean, he doesn't say that. I'm just saying that for him. He's pretty good about this stuff. I have boxes and stacks of books out there, but I've covered them up with blankets, and so it doesn't look bad, but it still is a stack of stuff. He's pretty tolerant. He's pretty laid back for letting me come in and just taking over the house. I don't take over the house. I don't touch his stuff. I leave his stuff alone. I realize that he's had this house for many years before I came here, and he's got his way of living. All right, I guess I'm good with that. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I am going to make him trim that rose bush out there this year, though. The rose bush needs pruning. It really should have pruned it last fall, but he had some medical stuff done, so I didn't force it. There we go. But he's aching to go fishing, I can tell you that. He's aching. I don't need these tweezers. So Mary's in her world. I'll come out when I'm done. I'll come out when I'm done. Come on. They glued this stuff down good, I'll have to tell you that. Oh, that come off pretty good. Maybe that's the trick to it. You gotta get in a good spot here. And just kind of get a hold of it and rip it down. I'll be out when I'm done. Lisa did this, so Mary's going to. I've been enjoying Lisa's Bits and Pieces book. She calls it her everything journal. And she's been putting Happy Mail in there. So this morning I started one out of a craft book. And I'm going to get my Happy Mails that I've been stacking up over here on my computer desk and put them in there. All right, let's do, what, one more side here? This side's kind of skinny, but I'm going to leave it. One more long side. I guess if my papers are shorter, I can get some big papers like shopping bags. Those would make nice. The backs of them for mind maps. Some big shopping bags, paper bags, wallpaper. Some of this is really glued down nice, I'll tell you. If I can't get in there and just kind of go down the... I don't know if that's going to work. My scissors down. There we go. Just working it loose is what I need to do. You learn as you go. You learn as you go what's the best way to do it. Kind of clean it up a little here. I'm almost done. There we go. Now that's the front. Now, was it you, Trace, who said that somebody told me to be careful when I fold it, that hers folded in 3 places and got weak. So, I don't want to fold it in the middle. I want to fold it on the spine, in the spines there, right in here. Let me get this stuff off of my let's stop and look at chat before I move on. Put my heat gun. My heat gun is going to hit my camera. A minute here. Alrighty. Let's see what you all are chatting about without me. Mary's coming out. Mary's coming out of her world. Violet said, I thought we weren't putting SIGs in until next stream with Tanya. Tanya, we love having you here. Is Tanya here? Which is it, Tanya? Oh, it's Tanya Woodard. Hi, Tanya. Tanya. So glad to see everyone trying to fit into cliche is hard on yourself even at this age. Well, we're glad you're here, Tanya. Thanks for dropping in. I got my fingernail kind of a hangnail there. I'm going to clip it off from doing that. Hi, Carrie Little C. Plaster. Welcome, welcome. I thought we weren't putting SIGs in until the next stream with Tanya and Lisa. I'm not putting my SIGs in tonight, if you're talking to me. I was just talking about how they would fit. Because I think that I got a big border around here. And I was saying I'm going to use that 11 by 17 paper. But I've got a good, it's 11 inches and this is 14 inches. So I've got a good 1.5 inches on each side here, a border. And what I was saying is I could put some other types of paper that might take up some of that space, but I'm not sure what Tanya's planning on there. Tanya McGuire. Holly's in the house. Jenna said hi to Carrie. River City. Hi, Deborah. Did I say hello to you? Welcome, Deborah. Hi, Andrea. Andrea is Function Light of One. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mary 2 is here. I'm looking to see if Janet, did you give me directions on that coffee? I'm going to leave and come back in. I think something is wrong, unless we were all kidnapped. Oh dear, what happened? Mary, you're doing great. I couldn't live with my brother if my life depended on it. Well, I have to say my brother's my older brother. Now, I'm going to kind of crease this here. And I'm going to use that bone folder that came with this wonderful scoreboard that Rhonda sent me. Because I haven't found my other bone folder yet. I had it and then I lost it again. But it could be out in that stack of stuff that's... So, let's see. I think, do I want 2? I think I do. We're gonna score this at 2 places, and hopefully this will leave a gap. We'll see here. We will see. I'm just gonna score it there. I'm not sure this is exactly what I want, but if it isn't, well, it's gonna be really funky. Tanya, I'd like your recipe again of how you made those coffee pages, because I know you put some strong coffee in a sprayer, but I think you said you took the grounds and, yeah, I think that's what I want. You took the grounds, the coffee grounds, and smeared them on the tray, and is that right? Janet, I mean. Janet. Comment from Lisa. She left that much before she did the wavy edges so that she had to cut the waves. So I'm wondering if I should cut this down more. I think I'm going to leave it this big, and then if my paper, let's get that piece of paper out again here. See, my paper is, see, my paper's, but I can get larger paper. I can do really funky. I can do funky signatures. Like I can put wrapping paper or wallpaper. And so I can have different kinds of paper other than this. Andrea says, Violet, if you're not still here, then I'm probably not saying hi. Could go either way. Oh dear, you guys, you kill me. All right, we're gonna, so I think mine might turn out being a bit larger, but that's okay. I think they left that edges, from what I'm hearing from Lisa's comment, is it was left that large so that you could cut the wavy edges. So I probably did not cut my wavy edges enough. And I'm just going to try to crease this. It's kind of going into the, let's try creasing it here. And I think they strengthened theirs, and I think I'll strengthen mine before I paint it with fabric washi. I'll put duct tape in here. But now let's see if I can, let's put this little scorer back so I don't lose it. It's got a little envelope. They tell you how to make envelopes with this scoreboard. All right, now let's see what I've done here. Let me move my tablet again. Yeah, let's see if I can fold this. Fold it this way and fold it this way. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'll make this the front because I like it. I could tear more wavy off, but I don't know. I think I'm happy with it. So I need to cut a circle in here. So that would be over here. And what I have might be too big. That will be a big hole. So I thought it might be too big, so I got this out. That's the next biggest thing I have. I've got masking tape, but what else do I have that's round? That's really not a bad, because if I make this a mind map, I'm going to be having lines come out. I'm going to be having lines come out and go every which way. And of course I'm cutting on the back to the front. Let's flip it over. This is my front here. And thanks whoever warned me about folding this so it wouldn't crease in the wrong places. I appreciate that, because I think that probably saved me some grief. So I'm going to, and they cut theirs by hand. They cut theirs by hand. Now I'm not going to dye the pages tonight. I'm going to do the pages another time. I think that's pretty big. I'm okay with that. Now they cut theirs out with a X-Acto knife. And see, I have that utility knife, but I also have my, yeah, in here. Oopsie doodle. I had to laugh at, did I take the blade out of that? Oops. I might have to put a blade in this. And I think I saw some, but were they the right size? I've got to open this drawer. I have to move my chair back. I've got needles and bobby pins and more bobby pins and hair rolls. I thought I saw some blades. I've got those, but those aren't what I want. Are they? No, I want here. Are these them? No, that's ink. I thought I had some X-Acto knife blades in this drawer. I might be using the utility knife. I am not finding them. Mary, why don't you do this stuff ahead of time? Yeah, I don't think of it ahead of time. Here we go. I knew I saw some. Let me put all my bobby pins away. I had to laugh at Barb Owens today. She was showing some vintage ephemera that she had located in a box that they were helping people clean out a house or something. And she goes, Mary, you didn't have one over us. It was like a 1950s letter type thing. And the lady had clipped it together like in and out with a bobby pin. She said, this is Mary, see, she beat you to it. She's already been done. It's already been done. What you did was not novel. I got the biggest kick out of that. I'm going, see, somebody else thought it was a good idea way back in the 1950s. I'm going to throw this away. Way back in the 1950s, somebody thought it was a good idea to use bobby pins. And they used a bobby pin, and they wove it in and out of the top of the paper to hold the paper together. I thought that was funny. How many blades are in here? 5? Yeah. Yeah. So, that was really, really cute. So, I guess I'm going to have to write a letter and clip it together like that with bobby pins. It's probably something like what my mother would do too. She was using nylon socks back then in the early days. We wore a lot of those pantyhose. Do you guys remember wearing? Oh, there's 2 blades there. Do you guys remember wearing pantyhose? Is there 2 blades there? I can't tell. I guess not. Feels like 2 blades. Anyway, my mother would take those pantyhose and take them, and after they got runs in them and everything and they were no longer wearable, my mother would take those pantyhose and make elastic rubber bands out of them. I can't get this in there. Will it fit? Is this the right size? This may not be the right size for this knife. It's not even going in, but it feels like it's 2 blades. That's an awfully thick blade. That's weird. There it goes. But, oh, that's too big for this. I guess I'm going to use my utility knife. Tighten that back up. Put this back away. I guess that went to a different type of knife, those blades did. I'll save them. I'll need them someday, I guess. I think I got these at that liquidation sale for like 50 cents a package. So I'm not too disappointed. They look like the right size. They look like the right size. They just say exacto. Come on. There. They just say exacto blades. Let's see what it says on the package. Oh, it says number 2. Huh. Well, I'm getting this out again. This is my swivel. I took the little blade out of there. I didn't want it to... No, that's not the swivel. This is the swivel. I took the little blade out of this one. Excuse me, I'm getting all confused. Do I have another one in here? No. Let's put them away and cut my circle before I... Now I need to cut all the way through this. And they used an X-Acto knife, but I don't see why I can't use my utility knife. I might have to, as Tanya said, go around it once and then come back and do another. Of course, stuff like that bothers me. Yeah. So you're cutting corrugated cardboard here. It's like going over railroad tracks. It's like going over a bumpy road. Braid up a little now. This is a challenge. This is a challenge. We don't know what the hole is for. We did a lot of guessing. I liked Aunt Beck's idea of it being a crystal ball. I like that. What else? I said a snow globe. Tanya said no snow globes. No snow globes. So I said a mind map, and she said no mind maps. I'm going, geez, you can't please this girl. No snow globes, no crystal balls, no mind maps, no toilet seats. There are a lot of guesses. And then I said a dial, like a YouTube channel, because the hint was they channel each other. And I'm going, it could be a dial or a TV screen or a friendship ring. I'm almost through it here. There we go. That'll make a nice something or other. So, now, I think they painted theirs. Let's see if I can keep track of that. I think they gessoed it. And I have gesso, old gesso. Let's stop and check, though. let's stop and chat. Here is my, oh, look, it's got the bump there. I'll have to put. Now, I'm going to paint it before I reinforce the sides. I think I'm going to reinforce the sides with fabric, the spine. So, but let's stop and chat. I've been in my world. I've got to put my scissors away. I do like having this hobby cart that Lucia sent me for tools and things. I've got it loaded down, and it's a mess. I've got to sort it out, but I know where my scissors go. All right. Let's see what you're saying. Mary, Tanya said to say hello and good night. She's gone. Yeah, I think Tanya's on her trip. Didn't they leave today? Thank you. Thank you, Andrea, for letting us know. Charlie said no to a shaker window. It's not a shaker window. What about a shaker window full of sequins? That would be fun, though, wouldn't it? I'm going to make mine a mind map. I don't know what she's got planned with a mystery hole here, but mine's going to be a mind map. I love a Mary Mystery Mind Map art journal with Funky Coffee-dyed Painty Papers. Cheryl says, yes, they would, Holly. Let's see. Cheryl says, Cheryl, they are fruits, but they are a fruit that you do not put in the fridge like berries. Teresa, no problem. Oh, tomatillo, is that what it is? Tomatillos? This is going to drive me crazy, Janet says. The wheels, a color wheel? It'd make a perfect color wheel too, wouldn't it? Yeah. I don't know. Making us wait 3 weeks is almost cruel. I'll tell you what mine is. Mine's gonna be a mind map. I'm gonna do a mind map underneath of here. Now I said that, and Fran was way ahead, and she had put a map paper on the, I guess, on the inside back, so her map paper showed through her hole, which I thought was really cool. Flo, you're not supposed to put tomatoes in the fridge, actually. Oh, we like ours cold. We like our tomatoes cold. But they are good warm, too. My grandmother typed up tomatoes with an old hose. Oh, taped up with an old hose. She staked them. I had one year where I planted down when I was staying with my parents. And one year I planted cherry tomatoes, and boy, those went wild. Oh, they were huge. They must have grown. They must have been 5 feet high, each plant. I only had 2 plants, and they produced all sorts of little cherry tomatoes. We'd eat them like candy. Oh, there's Linda. Did she leave? Linda, are you still here? LP Red Flower. She came in and said hello, and I was in my world. Linda, if you're still here, welcome, welcome. Tanya McGuire popped in to say hello, but had to leave. Oh, okay. I'm missing everybody. Hi, Lori. Paint Girly, welcome, welcome. Linda said hello to Janet. And Beck said, nothing tastes better than warm, sun-kissed red tomatoes. Now you're making me hungry. Oh, there she is. You made it here for once, huh? I started watching your haul video tonight. I didn't have much time because I watched Barbara Owen, and then I fell asleep, and then I watched a movie. No, I watched a movie, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and I watched Aunt Beck, and then I started watching you, and it was getting to be almost 7 o'clock, so I got to go back and watch your haul video. We're food obsessed tonight. Well, hello to everybody that I missed. I'm sure I missed other people in here. I saw Lori, Paint Girly, and Becca's here, Cheryl, Andrea, Shelly Carlson. Janet dropped a link to Lisa and Tanya's March Mystery Journal, Craft Together. Thank you, Janet. Aunt Beck says, my lap is full. Howie has pushed the laptop down to my chins and is is putting your left arm asleep. Who else did I miss coming in here? And if you're new in here, welcome, welcome. I noticed earlier there were a couple of new people. Carrie Little C Plaster, she's new to us tonight. So welcome the new people. Violet's here. Giovanna's here. Trace is here. Mary too. I think I've got everybody up here. Deborah. All right. So I'm going to gesso, if I can get a hold of my gesso here. And it's old, that's glue. I gotta bend down and see what's underneath my cart here. I might have left my, I thought I had it on here, though it's probably way at the back. Get my reacher. Get my reacher. Come on. You can't hide from me. I had this cart pulled out tonight. I have some gesso that really needs to be used up. It's this Liquitex Basics. And I think I actually brought it down here with me from Madison. And I've been down here for about 3.5, going on 4 years. So this stuff really needs to be used. And now I'm 3 feet away from my desk again. So let me scoot up. Let me scoot up. So I'm going to gesso this just to give it a base coat. Popcorn and cookies. Thanks, Cheryl. Popcorn. Sharon Marlowe is going to try to live stream. I can't talk tonight. Sharon Marlowe is going to try to live stream tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Hope to see you there. Okay, Violet. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I have to say, Saturdays are my down days. I probably won't make it because I have to have at least 1 day a week. At least 1 day a week where I am not online. I like to read and sleep and do laundry. And I'm going to use this old brush. I know Suze has given me this brush, but I can't use it. It's too nice to gesso with. So I'm going to use the old brush. I could scrape it but with a card, but I'm going, let's see, maybe I can shake this a little. I think it's really thick. I think Tanya said hers was thick too. I don't know if I can get much out of here without getting a big gulp of it. It's out. It makes funny noises coming out. Now, this is the outside of it, isn't it? I don't know if I'm just going to give this a light coat of gesso, but I was thinking I'd like to do that leathery, wrinkly paper technique on this, so I'm not sure gessoing it will strengthen maybe these corrugated pieces. Maybe if I gesso those good. And then, but I think I'd like to have this have a leathery look. So maybe I'll just give this a really light coat of gesso. I'm not sure this is really necessary as I think through this, which obviously I didn't. Obviously I did not think, but I'd like to do that leathery look on here. That Lisa does by crumpling up paper. So I'm just going to do a really light coat, and then a heavier coat on the inside. Now I think Lisa had hers warp a little when she painted hers, but I think she got it really wet. And Tanya just did a light coat, kind of like I am, so it's not warping as much. I have to say, though, I think this cardboard is really strong. This paper is really strong. Linda LP Red Flower, if you're still listening, I really enjoy your haul videos. I like to see what's out there. In Hobby Lobby, and she goes to a lot of the Tuesday mornings. I don't have access to a Tuesday morning, but I like to see what she gets. Well, that almost covered this entire piece. I might have put just a teeny bit more on here to finish it out. And I'm not going to worry about this too much because I am going to, I want to do the edges more than anything. I am going to, I'm going to do the leather look. Come on, just a little. Oh, too much. Way too much. Way too much. Yeah. Here. Just put most of this back in here. You can't squirt out just a little out of these gallon jars. It doesn't work. Now, we'll do it that way. I don't know why I'm doing it on here because I'm going to cover this. What I really want to do it on is the corrugated part. Whee! So, I was going to sketch and tell a story tonight, but since my photo that I downloaded is on my camera that's on my stand up above, I'll just tell the story while I'm doing this. A Phibbsville story. Phibbsville, if you're new here and don't know the story of Phibbsville, it comes from Friends in a Box. It's spelled F-I-B-S-V-I-L-L-E. We've got a Facebook group that Violet started, and Janet is co-hosting it, I guess you could say. And it's called Phibbsville Friends on Facebook. And Phibbsville was actually named by Janet Baum. Now I want some more. But it stands for Friends in the Box. And of course, Friends in the Box was actually a Dee Willingham inspiration. I think it was Gene, the musical scrapper, who came up with the term fibs, Friends in the Box, the way I heard it. But we grabbed a hold of that, and we have a little town called Phibbsville. And all last year, most of last year, and into this year, I've been telling little stories about our town. And right now there's some characters called Destiny, who's kind of a young, sweet blonde. I'm just dipping my brush in here. And she just got engaged over Valentine's Day we're calling him Johnny now. His name is really Johan. And he had worked over in England. I don't have my palette knife out. He'd worked over in England for Google in our story on the AI machine. But they took 51% of his salary, so he quit him. And he's moving back to the States, and he's fallen in love with Destiny. Yep, he's fallen head and over heels in the Destiny. And there's a whole story about how they met. Destiny went out for a country drive one day, and she turned off her motor to check a map to see where she was, and her car wouldn't start. And this guy on a motorcycle came to help her, and he helped her, but he needed a toolbox. And she had one in the trunk. It was a pink toolbox that she'd gotten at a garage sale. But he used it, and all that was wrong with the car was, I'm gonna hit this with the heat gun. All that was wrong with the car was the battery cable was loose. So he was able to find enough in that pink toolbox to fix the battery cable. But he wanted to give her pink toolbox back, but she didn't know him, and she was kind of afraid of him. She was a young lady, pretty young blonde in a car, stranded out in the middle of the country. And so she went and rolled the window down to let him give her the toolbox back. And he wanted to hand it through the window. He wasn't going to put it back in the trunk, which would have been the logical thing to do. But sometimes these guys who work on AI machines aren't logical. And anyway, he got mad because she wouldn't roll down the window. So he took her toolbox and drove off. And then we went through a whole series about how she put an ad in the paper. He left his leather coat in her trunk of her car. So she had his leather coat, and he had her toolbox. Well, he went back to England, but she drove home that night, and she was looking at that leather coat, decided she was going to clean it for him, because it's kind of dirty. But obviously, he had gotten that leather coat at a garage sale because it had a piece of masking tape on it. And it had the initials MW on it. Now, I'm retelling all of that because that has to do with our story tonight. And also, in the lining of that coat, she felt some papers in the lining of the coat. So she tore the lining apart, and there was an envelope with 5 $1,000 bills in it, and it said, "This is for you in case I don't come back," or something to that effect. I have to go review my notes exactly what it said. And it had a quote from Grover Cleveland on there, and I'd have to review my notes to tell you exactly what the quote said. And my notes are on the phone up above. Anyway, to make a long story shorter, at Christmas, around Christmas, yeah, this board is kind of warping. But as it dries and as we put weight on it, it will work itself out. At Christmas, right before Christmas, Mary had been renting the TheMeriAtelier, which is an old general store building. Well, more of a department store than not a wooden general store as you think of general stores in little towns. It's more like a department store. Now, this is the inside that I'm doing now. And we've been renting that building. Mary is the reluctant retiree. And she came home and she found this. She was downsized from her job and she couldn't get another one. So she came home. And she found this. Now, this is in the story. It sort of mirrors real life there, but not completely. She found this building empty. And she knew that her great-great-grandfather and great-grandmother didn't own the building, but they worked in that building. They helped run that department store, general merchandising store, I guess you could call it. And, you know, think about the old stores with the tin ceilings and the oak shelving and that type of thing. That's the type of store that it is. If you've ever been in those stores, those older buildings. Anyway, so she's been renting this store from a young man over in England, and it turned out to be Johnny, this Johann character. And he has since quit his job, and like I said, he's fallen in love with Destiny, and they got engaged over Valentine's Day. But when he came back, he wanted his leather coat. Well, when Destiny found out that he was going to evict TheMeriAtelier, that's what happened at Christmas. He came back and he wanted to tear down that building, that department store building, and make a three-layered parking ramp out of it. And I go, no! And we kind of went through all of that in our stories in the past, kind of reviewing where we are on this story thing. And, but when he came back, he wanted his leather jacket back. And he had her pink toolbox, and they were going to make a trade. But when Destiny found out that he was evicting TheMeriAtelier is kind of a place where we meet on Saturdays in our story. And, she didn't want anything to do with that leather jacket, so she took it off and she gave it to our whole nother story, our lead pencil criminal, who's kind of reformed now. He got into trouble because he gave Janet a black eye because she couldn't sell him any lead pencils. I know I'm all over the place with this story, but I'm kind of reviewing it so I can bring you up to date with what's going to happen tonight. And so he likes that jacket. And so when the young man from England come back, he wanted his jacket. Well, the lead pencil criminal was not about to give up that jacket. You know, that was his jacket. So Destiny, in desperation, found one on the internet at an auction site. And it was exactly like the one. She knows that leather jacket because she cleaned it. She wore it for a couple weeks before she gave it up. And so now Destiny is wearing the fake leather jacket, and the lead pencil criminal has the real leather jacket. And the young man who's now engaged to Destiny really doesn't care because he doesn't know, but he doesn't care because he wants Destiny to wear his leather jacket. Oh, what a story. Miss Mary can hardly keep up with all these goings on. Anyway, so the leather jacket plays in with our story tonight. So we generally meet on Saturday afternoons in our story, not in real life, in our story. We get together as just a group of art journaling friends, and we do art on Saturdays, and we meet, and Janet serves treats, and Officer Orville, if you've listened to our stories, you know Officer Orville is our friendly local police officer who likes all the treats, and he's kind of keeping an eye out on Frederick, who's our lead pencil criminal, who's really has been in the war, and he's got PTSD, and that's why he was so violent when he hit Janet, because she couldn't sell him any lead pencils. But anyway, he's reformed now, and he's wearing the leather jacket. And so we're meeting on a Saturday afternoon, and Destiny and Johnny come in, and Frederick is wearing the leather jacket, and he wants to know where that leather jacket came from. He's very interested in the leather jacket that he's wearing. He wants to know more about it. And he's been trying to get Johnny and Destiny to take him back to the place where obviously Johnny got it at a garage sale that was going on near the place where Destiny's car had broken down. And so he's been bugging him to do it for the longest time. So this weekend, Destiny wants Miss Mary to go with her. She's afraid that something's going to happen between those two, and she doesn't want to be alone with them when something happens. So I agree. I'm going to go with them, and we take out and we go out there in the country near a little town called Mechanicsville, and we go to the farmhouse where there was a garage sale where Johnny had gotten that leather jacket. And they said, this is the place. And Frederick's just kind of looking over it. And while he's looking over and looking around, a man comes out and says, can I help you? And Frederick wants to know who lives there. And the young man says, well, he also wants to know if there was a garage sale there recently. And the young man said, yeah, my great aunt had a yard sale here earlier this year. And of course, everybody's ears perked up because they knew they had the right place. And Frederick said, where's your great aunt? I'd like to talk to her. And he said, well, she was actually she was trying to meet some of her bills. And she was selling off, she had a garage sale. She's going to move into an assisted living center in town. And I'm taking over the farmhouse. And so Frederick says, I want to go into town with me, Mechanicsville, the little town close by. And he says, well, I'd like to meet her. I'd like to talk to her. And the young man wasn't too sure, but he said, well, she wants to talk to you. I really don't see no harm in it. She's not she's not so old that she can't handle herself and know who she wants to talk to and who she doesn't. And so we all go into town, and the young man takes us to her assisted living center, and we're kind of waiting in the lobby for her to come out. And she comes out, and Frederick walks up to her, and she walks up to Frederick, and she goes, is that you? Is that you, Frederick? And, his face kind of turns red, and she goes, oh my goodness. She said, I had given you up for being dead. He'd been in the war. Remember, he had post-traumatic stress disorder. And, well, it turns out that her name is Melissa Wendt, Melissa Wendt, W-E-N-D-T. And that was the M.W. on that piece of masking tape that was on the jacket. And so that leather jacket had come from her, and Frederick knew that leather jacket because, well, to make a long story short, Melissa and Frederick were lovers way back before he had to go off to war. I think he probably fought in the Korean War, but I'll have to check my genealogy to see if that's his age frame, if that was the war that would be going on. But let's just say that he fought in the Korean War. He might be a little bit younger than that. It might have been the Vietnam War. So anyway, she'd given him up for being dead, and he wasn't dead. He just was going through a whole bunch of problems, and he just didn't think he was good enough to get back in touch with her. And all this time, he never made an effort to find her. He just wanted her to go on and live her life and be happy. And that's kind of what she did until now. So now they found each other again, Frederick and Melissa. And they're catching up. They're catching up on things. And Melissa says, that leather jacket, she says, have you found what's inside of it? And Frederick says, yeah. He said, I stitched it in there years ago. And she goes, huh? She says, no, I put it in there. And he says, no. He says, it's still in there. And underneath of the armhole, he pulled his jacket off, and underneath of the armhole, he had a label that had his name and his address and all of his identifying information on that jacket. So now we can prove that that was actually his jacket. But Melissa is really confused. She said, oh, no. She said, that's not what I meant. And Destiny and Mary are just kind of looking at each other because we know what she means. It's that envelope with $5,000 in it. And so Destiny kind of had an idea that she wanted to talk to Frederick about that jacket. And she had that envelope with $5,000 in her purse. And she says, we have to talk. And so she shares that envelope with the letter in it that Frederick had written to Melissa years and years ago before he went off to war. And it's $1,000 bills. Now, I think the $1,000 bills, they quit printing them. But that doesn't mean that there weren't some yet in circulation. But they quit printing them sometime in the mid-1900s. I'm not sure exactly the date. But there are 5 $1,000 bills in there that belong to Melissa now. So Frederick has found his Melissa, true love Melissa. And she's in an assisted living center, and that does not sit well with him. He wants her out of there. So he's talking to her about moving back to Fibbsville to live with him. So we have not only Johnny and Destiny hooking up together, Frederick and Melissa have found each other again. So we've got some interesting goings on here in Fibbsville. So then, to make the story, this is kind of cracking in here, but I'm going to reinforce this with duct tape and fabric. And let's see, is that the inside? I forgot which is the inside and which is the outside. I guess this is the outside because it's corrugated here. I turned this over and I got. So, but the story's not quite over yet. Melissa pipes up and says, we have another announcement. And Mary's going, I don't know if I can take any more of these announcements. Well, it seems like Johnny, who used to work for Google, but he quit because they cheated him out of 51% of his salary. He says, I'm not taking that off of you guys. He says, I'm smart enough, I can get a job on my own. You know, I don't need it. And so he quit Google, and he's come back to the States, and he applied for a federal government job and with their artificial intelligence program. So he's going to be doing that kind of on the side. And the announcement that they have is they're getting married. They're going to get married in June. So that was part of the announcement. Also, they're going to open a bed and breakfast. Destiny's going to run this kind of bins here. I might have to strengthen this, but I'm going to be putting paper on the outside of it. I'm going to be putting more paper, brown paper on here. So Destiny and Johnny are going to run a bed and breakfast. Yeah, this is going to need some reinforcing. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that after I do this part. It's not cracking on the outside, it's cracking on the inside here. I'll probably put my tape and fabric strip on after I paint this. I'm going to paint this, I believe, but it's just jesseled tonight. So that's our big story for tonight, is that Frederick and Melissa have found each other again after all these years. And they got the $5,000 envelope back. And Frederick has his leather coat back. And Melissa has her Frederick back. And Destiny has her Johnny. And Johnny has her Destiny. And Johnny has a job with the federal government artificial intelligence work going on in the background with the United States government. And they're going to open a bed and breakfast in Phibbsville. That's an awful lot of goings on, let me tell you. So let me get this out of the way here. And let me put this out of the way. And I'm going to need I had got out. I'm not going to use the green paper that Sue sent me. I have some brown paper. I'm going to do it in brown. The leather part. And I had drawn, around Christmas time, I had drawn this little girl looking in a window. I was going to do a scroll art. I'm going to tear this off. This will go in my art journal. So that's my Phibbsville story for tonight. Can you keep up with all the goings on? Let me tell you. This will go in my art journal. There's a little girl looking at dolls in the window. You have to keep up with these stories because I have to repeat them every time I tell another story. I was a sassy young teenager. Hi, Renee. I've never seen that Mary pretty. Hi, Sharon. Very pretty. Oh, this? I did this on in the middle of December. 12/18/19. I was going to do some scroll art, and it was dolls looking in a window. I think I looked in a book. There was a vintage book, and I drew inspiration from that vintage book, a little girl looking in the window. I was playing around with sketching. It's on YouTube someplace. Let's see, what else is going on? Hi, Journey. Welcome, welcome. Loretta. Hi, Loretta. Is she in here? Journey says, that's awesome, Loretta. So she must be in here someplace. They're saying hello to, oh, there's Loretta. She says, sorry I'm late. I'm working on projects for our Cove Crafters Club. We provide 100 gifts for patients of Shepherd's Cove Hospice every month. Ah, Loretta, that's cool. Lisa said good night. Renee has a show here. I just know the assistant character's name. I think that's supposed to be assistant character's name. That I don't know what you're saying, Renee, but I think that's supposed to be assistant. We're going to assume it is. Murder, She Wrote. Andrea, I have no clue what you're talking about. That's what Holly said. Holly, maybe it's like that town that Jessica Fletcher lives in, Cabot Cove, where everyone dies. Oh, we haven't had anybody die yet. We haven't had any deaths yet in Phibbsville. We had a criminal try to steal our lead pencils, but we haven't had anybody die. Now, I want this real wrinkly. I'm going to do the leather journal thing here. And I'm going to probably have to put some more glue in here. So let me dig that out. And I'm just using, I am just using school glue. I'm just using school glue. It's just a cardboard cover and crumpled paper. And I could get the school glue at Walmart. So let me kind of shake it. So we still are renting the building. We're still paying our $10 a month rent. There is kind of a dispute as to whom that building belongs, because the guy died and the deed never got turned over to, we don't know exactly who he was willing it to. And the deed, you think that they would, well, I guess the taxes were paid by the young man Johnny, but there was no really deed turnover. The deed wasn't transferred over, and somehow, you know, it's a small town, so somehow that just got overlooked. And Frederick thinks that that really belongs to him, that building, and we had a whole story about that. I'm not going to go into all of that. So Mary is still paying $10 a month rent. Yep, we're still there. We haven't been evicted yet. And of course, Johnny is not insisting on us moving because he's in love with Destiny, and Destiny is in love with the art group. So he doesn't want her mad at him because he's going to kick us out of the building. So the rightful ownership of that building still has to be determined. That's another story for another week. I want this real crumply. I'll tell you, you guys, you get me off on all sorts of art journals here. All sorts of things. All sorts of things here doing. And I am going to put it in, and this will help reinforce. This will help reinforce this cardboard where it's weak, especially on the other side. And I suppose we'll have to cut this again in here, or fold it inside. We'll see what happens to that. Oh, this is almost the right size. I think that I'm going to put it right here. And it's going to have a leather look. This is going to have the leather look. Now, Sue sent me some green, but I can't put my hands on it. I think it's out in the dining room. And this has got white gesso in it, but I'm going to have gesso-y glue. And you know what? I want to put some water in that. Yeah. And look what I found when I pulled my cart out. My old water bottle. I knew it was around here somewhere. Let's put some water in this glue. Now, I think Lisa and Tanya use Mod Podge glue. Mod Podge and Elmer's Glue All. I have school glue. And a little, I don't know if they put water in it. If they do, that's not a whole lot. And let's use the end of this to stir this up with. I want to thin it out just a little. It's a little thick. And it takes a little stirring to do this. I might have put too much water in it. No, I don't think I did. It just needs to be stirred. Double, double, toil and trouble. It's pretty thin. I've been thinning out my texture paste lately too. Not meaning to. Let's just kind of, and put that in the water for now. Okay. This might be a little thin, but we'll see. And I'm going to put glue in here. And collage this down. So, I was going to sketch tonight while I told that story. I was going to do a sketch of Melissa. Melissa is Frederick's long-lost love. And he went off to war. He left her that $5,000. And she had sewn that $5,000 in the lining of that leather coat. And he didn't know it was there. And somehow that leather coat got sold at the garage sale. And Johnny bought it. And so she lost the note and she lost the $10,000. And Destiny had found it. Well, Frederick knew that was his coat right away. And Johnny, he's kind of out of the whole thing. He's kind of trying to catch up with everything. Just like Mary, trying to catch up with all the goings on here. Do I have enough under there? I think I do, but let's put some more under there just in case. I think I made my glue a little bit watery, but it's still sticky, so I'm going to use it. Kind of, I want this crumply, but I don't want it that crumply. So if there's some places where it's not crumply, oh well. And this is going to get glued down. So I told my Fibsville story, and I lost my list. What else did I want to do tonight? I have a list here someplace. I may only get, what time is it? Let's look at the time. What is it? 9:30. I'm not going all night tonight. I may only get this done, but that's enough. I think I got that pretty well collaged down. Now we need some over here. Carried about there. I might have to rip it off a little. No, I think that's about right. And let me make a there. That's pretty good. I'll save this for this side, I think. Oh, before we do that, we need to do this. So thank you all for coming tonight and hanging out with me. I'm not doing anything that you haven't seen Lisa and Tanya do, except for mine's going to be a mind map mystery. And it's going to have funky coffee-dyed painting papers on the inside. So I have until a couple of weeks to get the papers painty, until Tanya gets to Lisa's house. But I opened this box today and I go, oh, this is perfect for the cover. So I wanted to work on my cover tonight. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing painty papers and coffee dyeing them. The painty papers will not be a lot of paint because I want to write on them. I'll probably coffee dye them first and then spray some inks or something on them, because I do want to write mind maps on them. I think I'll put that right in here. I'm going to do some funky mind mapping. I had to look up the meaning of the word funky, and you'd be surprised. It originated with being smelly. You know, being smelly was being funky. That was the origin of it. Funky. And then it, in more recent times here, it turned into being unconventional. I guess if you're smelly, you're unconventional. I've never been a whimsical person. I've never done, I'm not a contemporary. I don't do a lot of contemporary art, and I'm not very good with whimsical art. I'm more mixed media, vintage, shabby chic, distressed. Type of a style. Funky and whimsical, contemporary, those are just not in my, they're not in my style. But it helps to kind of mix the two here, mind mapping and funkiness. Let's see, let's tear this a little here. Let the corrugation show. There. So it always helps to stretch yourself a little if you can. So I'm going to do funky pages and funky mind maps. I don't know what I'm going to do for a funky mind map. I'll probably mind map the word funky first and see what we can come up with. Funky colors. Ew, I don't know if I want to do that or not. Aditi's doing an interesting journal where she takes and puts a color. She made a list of colors, and she puts a color up in the corner of each page of the journal, and then she picks something off of that list that's color, and then she draws it. I think that's such a cool journal. I'd be doing one, but I'm doing 100 other journals. I can't keep up with them all. And it's kind of an interesting Society of Idea collector. I think I'm going to glue these together here, if I can. I don't know if it's going to work in here. That glue is kind of wet. There we go. So there's this side of the cover. That's the front, and the back so far is just, excuse me, is just plain cardboard. And I'm not chatting while I'm doing this. I'm looking for my paper. I need some paper here. I'll probably have to tear some of this paper off, but I'm going to wait till it dries a little more. Now, if I was as good a hostess as Laura is, Laura, our Jersey crafter, she'd be talking to you while she's doing this. But Mary, no, Mary's got to think. Mary's got to think. Well, let's kind of tear it here. Let's tear it along the folds here. And Lisa's doing a wonderful lap book journal. And Tanya's is right behind her doing the lap book. Tanya's doing a pretty nice, Lisa's really taken off on that lap book. And Aunt Beck is doing a wonderful Comp 20. And Lisa and Tanya are doing the scavenger hunt journals. I see all that going on. I'm doing my gem journal, and I'm trying to do my larger monthly journals, but I think what I'm going to do for February and March, rather than try to make another March journal, is combine my March pages with my February one and give it that peacock dresser scarf cover. So I might combine February and March this year because I'm doing so much other stuff. This is actually pretty fun, to tell you the truth. Just even making the cover is fun. If all I ever get done to this journal is the cover, it'll be a success. Oh, the other thing I thought for this hoe was an airplane window. A window in an airplane. Nope, that wasn't it either. Yeah. One thing about this glue being so juicy is that it's pretty easy to spread. But I'm not sure. I guess it's sticking pretty good. In the long run, I'm getting it slopped over my jar. And no, I'm not watching Chad. I'm in my world tonight. I've been in my world all day today. This morning I was in my world. But I'm getting art done. I'm getting art done. All right, let's put this down in here. Tear this a bit more. No, I'll come back and tear it. Let's collage it down. I keep pulling my sleeves up because I'm afraid I'm going to get them all yucky. And you want it to be wrinkly because this is going to be the leather look here. And I think I'm going to paint it black. And either, yeah, black and have a kind of a tan corners on it like a ledger. That might be fun to do. I can give it a base coat of black and see how I like it. Let's get a lot of glue over in here. Yeah, I would get out my tablet and chat with you, but my glue is pretty wet here. Oops, well, let's lift it up and paste it down then, huh? Get this up in here. And the air bubbles, if there's air bubbles here, as I glue over it and collage it down, it forms the wrinkles. So I kind of like that. Alrighty, one last strip here. One last strip. Sharon Marlowe said she's going to try to stream tomorrow at 9. If you're up and going. I probably am not going to stay up late tonight. I'm kind of tired. I get tired by the end of the week. Especially this week has kind of been crazy with the computer issues. So I'm going to bed tonight. Going to sleep in tomorrow. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. And I'll watch Sharon when I get up. I'll watch the replay. Sorry, Sharon. Yeah, sure you are, Mary. I am really tired. So I think we've narrowed it down this to be in the either the Ethernet cord or the Windows system or the something going on with the laptop. Because I'm on Wi-Fi tonight, and it doesn't seem like you guys are having much of a problem. I'm not seeing anything out there with buffering. Now, it buffered a little for me this morning, but I was on mobile data, so that kind of... I'm not going on mobile data, because I think Verizon will... Even though I have unlimited, I think when I reach 20 gig, they'll start saying, too much, I don't care if you have unlimited. And I don't use that unlimited a whole lot, but I like it when I go shopping. And sometimes I run it up pretty high when I'm out of town. So I don't want to give it up. All right. I think that is going to be enough for the cover for now. And I'll go back and distress all the edges here after it dries. Maybe I'll put some more underneath of this just to make sure it's glued down good. Alrighty. So let's put my brush in the water. And I'm going to give this a little dry. And I don't think I'll need this again tonight. I might, but I'm going to put it up there. Now, heat gun alert. I want to dry this a little. And I think I'm going to paint it black. You know what I think I'm going to paint it with? I wonder if I can get my hands on it. That black color shift paint. Black and gold color shift. I wonder if I can put my hands on that. If I can't put my hands on it tonight, I'll paint it black and then give it a coat of color shift. Probably should do that anyway to get all the background covered. I want to get this dry so I can put my tablet down. This glue dries pretty fast. It dries pretty fast. Where it's put on thick, it's a little harder to dry. Takes a little bit longer to dry where it's thick, but it dries pretty fast. In the corners here. So I'm going to go out tomorrow and walk around the yard, and I noticed Laura said that their snowdrop crocuses are coming up, and I think we've got those, and my brother calls them snowdrops. I think we have some, and I'm going to see if they're coming up yet. If yours are coming up, Jersey, ours should be coming up. My brother said the daffodils were peeking out of the ground on the south side of the house. I just know it's going to snow and freeze. The wind's going to blow when the tulips come up. Blow all the petals off of the tulips. It's pretty dry. Dry it in there. This might be all I get done tonight. A little sticky. It's a little sticky. I was watching a video today, a ranger video. They have this clay, what do they call it? Starts with a C. But what it is they form their clay like they do sculpting. Like in the video, she did a rose. And then she heated with that clay with her heat gun. And she said you could use any heat gun tool. And it actually dried out the clay, and it dried it thoroughly. And then she painted it with some pearlescent powder, which, you know, mixed with water or medium. Really pretty. I'd like to get my hands on some of that. And she said you could use it on two-dimensional work, like collages and journals. That would be fun to experiment with. I've never heard of that product before. It's sold by Ranger. Some sort of a fast-drying clay that you heat up with your heat gun. And it actually cooks it. It actually heats it all the way through and hardens it into whatever object you shape. Like she did a rose, a small rose. There we go. Now let's talk to you out there. We'll let that dry a little more. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see what's going on in chat. Look at that. Chat, chat, chat. Welcome everybody who's come in here. Wow. Hi, Lala Gamma. 40. Man, I remember 40 a long time ago. Me too, Lala. Kathy says, hi, Kathy Whitney. She says, hey, Janet. Holly tried to be a good hostess. The whole leads to you. Doesn't that make you dizzy? I swear mine's going to be a mind map. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut it out. I'm just here temporary. You guys. Janice says, Sculpey is an oven-baked clay. Maybe a heat gun works too. I don't know, Janice. I wish I knew that. Mary, you need to fold that cardboard to make sure the paper doesn't crack. Okay, let's do that. Let's fold the cardboard. It's on my... Now, I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to put fabric tape. I'm going to paint this side and put fabric tape on it. Let's fold this. I think it's going to work fine. It's cracking here. It's cracking there. I expected it to crack there. I think that this side is a little bit longer than, well, yeah, because it kind of, this side is a little bit wider than the front, but I kind of like that too. It's cracking here, but I'm gonna put binding on this. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Sneezy. Yeah, it's cracking here, but I expected that, and it's gonna have fabric binding. After I paint it, I'm gonna put some duct tape, two-sided carpet tape and fabric, but I want to paint it first. This is the inside. This is the outside. And this has really strengthened the outside. It's still kind of damp, but I think it's good enough that I can paint. I think it's good enough that I can paint. And I don't know. I don't think I can put my hands on that. Let's see if I got it in here. If I don't have it in here, I don't have it. I got the blue. I've got the blue, but I really wanted the black. I took out my metallic paints and I took my metallic paints and put them in another box, and they're out in the other room. So I'm gonna paint it a matte black just to get it painted, and then I'll come over it with that. I want that black and gold. I could put the blue over the black and see how it looks. That might be pretty. We'll see. I'll experiment with it. Oh. Now I'll use Susan's big brush. I have to get my black out. And I'm 3 feet away from my desk again. When I reach down there to get stuff, I have to back up my chair. And I tell you, I'm about out of black here. I'm about out of black in the, but maybe I'll clean out these bottles. And then I've got another bottle. What's this? This is another empty. See, I've got 3 empty ones. Or getting empty. I'm going to clean these out tonight on this journal. And I've got another one over across the room. It isn't like I don't have any black paint. I'm always buying black and white because I use them like crazy. I use them like crazy in my fine liners. So, let's experiment here. Let's cut open these empty ones or near getting empty and use it up. And when I do that, I generally loosen that cap a little so I can squeeze it here. And I use my old scissors. Yeah, and then I cut. And you'd be surprised how much paint is left down in the bottle of these near empty bottles. I know some folks put water in them and make a wash and use them that way. But I like to cut them open, just like that. And let's cut that apart. And then I'll use out of this side first. I might have enough in here to, and I'm going to use Susan's big brush. Well, I don't know. There's not a whole lot in that. We'll throw that away. Let's see. I think there's more down in here, though. Yeah, I think I'll put some of this blue color shift paint over this black and see what it does. It might be just the thing. I like using this brush, but I don't want to get it all messy, but you know, she gave me one to glue with and one to paint with. I think I'm using the painty one. The gluey one is over there. Or did I use that other one to paint with? I don't know. They're both out. You guys, you're so good to me. I'll tell you. I don't deserve you. Now I want to paint this corrugated really good. And, you know, I should probably have torn that. I'm going to let that dry and come back and tear it. Let's set this down and let's tear this, because I don't want to paint I want the corrugation to show. I'll have to come back and tear that when it's dry. So I just kind of want to tear. And I could use my scissors here to get off my fingers. Ah. Let's use my scissors to kind of score this wherever it scores. Get a hold of it here. If you guys could see what I'm doing. And I don't care if it's distressed in here. I really, more distressed the better, because this is supposed to be a distressed edge. Ah, come on now. Not that just, come on. That really glued down. There we go. Yeah. Oh, I want my wastebasket. Let me pick things up. It didn't spill too bad. I just have a few things. I got that brown paper kind of stopped everything from spilling out. Thank goodness. This paint dries fast. By the time I have this off here, it will. I guess that's good enough for distressed. What's this like? I don't care if it's not perfect up here, because I want it to look old and worn. I want it to look old and worn. I might take some sandpaper to it after I've painted it and sand it to make it look scratched up a little. Like it's been on stacks of books. It's a Mindmap journal. It's supposed to be used. Well, I don't know about that, but that's the way it's going. I tore that off there. I don't know if I wanted to tear so much of that. But it's torn now. It's kind of hard to tear horizontal. All right. I'm going to let that up at the corner dry a little more. And I'm going to tear this. There we go. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Come on. It's going to be painty there anyway, but there. All right. Got it on my fingers. Alrighty. I tell you, I used that Bria Reese modeling paste the other day and through that stencil, and I'll tell you, that was kind of hard to get off of my hands. That was hard to get off of my hands. It was really stuck onto my I had to scrub and scrub and scrub to get that Rio Reese modeling paste off of my hands. Yep, I'm liking that. I'm going to paint it in here. This is circle is going to come out, but I'm painting it anyway. There's quite a bit of paint left in here. I think I have enough to do the front cover here. And hello to everybody that's come in and dropped in for tonight. The new people, welcome, welcome. This is really kind of the nicest art group, you gals, welcoming everybody. And I think this bunch of gals that follow Aunt Beck and Mary and Tanya and Lisa, Sharon Marlowe, Beth Schuler, you're kind of the nicest gals around, if you ask me. Of course, I'm a little partial. Did you all watch Lindsay at the Frugal Crafter this afternoon? She did a short live of her. She's been on YouTube for 10 years. She had a lot of interesting things to say. If you haven't watched her live stream, it was only 10 or 15 minutes. Go watch it. She had a lot of interesting things to say about being on YouTube. She's worked pretty hard over the years. She's worked pretty hard over the years. She kind of recapped her career. I'm just going to use what's left up in here. And then we're going to go over it with some, some of that blue color shit and see if it shows up. Got just a little left in there. It's pretty on there, pretty thick, but it dries fast. It dries fast. I'm going to clean my brush out and throw the rest of that away. So heat gun alert. I was thinking I wanted the black and gold, but now I'm thinking the blue might. I've got a cord coming down here. I don't know if that's in your way. I guess it's not. Welcome to everybody who's in here. Thank you for coming. Watching me do. I'm doing a cover for an art journal. I'm following along with Tanya and Lisa. Tanya's March journal is mystery journal. We don't know. We don't know what this hole is here for. we guessed. We did a lot of guesses. I guess a few people guessed what it is. She made them email her. None of my guesses were right, so I said I'm going to make mine a mind map. So I'm doing what Lisa did essentially. Only I think Lisa, what did she do to her cover? I can't remember. Did she paint it? Oh yeah, now I remember. She did that blue. She did blue swishes. She mixed two colors of blue and swiped it across this way. It really turned out pretty. But she distressed her edges, her corrugated edges too. And Tanya did this funky cover with big round circles, and she ended up making flowers out of them. And I think they both painted the inside, which is what I'm going to do. So this may be all I get done tonight, but I like it. I like what's going on. I like what's going on with it. And then Tanya her and her husband are traveling, and they're going to end up at Lisa's house, I think in a couple weeks. She doesn't know the exact schedule yet. And so they're going to finish their mystery journal at Lisa's house, and they're going to stream together. Well, they stream together anyway, but they're going to be together as they stream. So while Tanya's traveling, I'm going to work on my Funky Coffee-dyed Painty Papers. But I think I'll copy-dye the pages first. And I might mix some different pages in with my, I'm going to use 11 by 17 copy paper, cream colored. I'm going to use some of that, but I think I'm going to mix some wallpaper in there and maybe some wrapping paper. We'll see. Maybe even some tissue paper. We've got to make it funky pages. Funky pages. It's going to be a funky mind map art journal. We're just about done with this. It's wrinkly where it's wet, where it's wrinkly. It's wet in the corrugated part. I'm not going to worry about that. And then, of course, I'll have to make mind maps in my mind map journal. That's a given. Funky mind maps. Funky, I'll have to have a list. We'll have to make a list of what kind of funky mind maps I can do. First thing I'm going to do is define the word funky. I'm not going to do a list tonight. I'm too tired. But that'll be a good list to do. Maybe next Friday night we'll do a list of funkiness. I think I can just about tear this over here. Just about dry here. Dry enough to put the blue on. All right, let's tear this up here. And I'll probably put some more black paint on it. Come on, where's my scissors? I'll have to put more black paint up here, but I had this paper going over my corrugation, and I didn't want that. Come on, these scissors are a little hard to use. They want to open. And of course, I'm reaching way across my desk. Yeah, get rid of that. Come on, get rid of it. I threw my paint away. I'll have to reach in there and get some more. I'll leave it like that. That paint. I think I can enough in there to do that. Let's grab a towel here and where's the, let me get this water off of it. Reach in here and paint this up. I'll tell you, I've used just about all of it in there. Some of it in there. Alrighty, so I'm going to throw that away again. Let's clean the goo off of this. Alright, so now I'm not going to dry that. I'm going to take some of this blue color shift paint and see how it looks over this black. I haven't used this a lot. I don't use it much. Let's just pour some over there. Ooh, I can see some purple in it. Ooh, oh, that's pretty. I don't know if you guys can see the purple. I'll have to turn it so you guys can see it. This is a good use for this because I wasn't using it. I'm not into the blues. I'm more into golds and coppers, but this blue color shift is really pretty. I'm not into blues and purples, but I'm liking this. I am liking this. I wonder how long it takes for this to dry. I'll put some more on there. Ooh, that's enough, Mary. I wanted some up in here. Some of the blues in there. Can you guys see the shifting of the colors? I'll have to see what you guys are saying in chat after I get done doing this. Oh, this is pretty. This is really neat. I am happy, happy, happy with it. Even if it isn't gold or copper, it is really neat. Let's color that. Get some more of that in here. Some of it worked in here. This will probably take, I think I'll probably leave it like this tonight and let this all dry because I think I'm very happy with it. And then later this weekend, I'll do the opposite side. I'll paint it and I'll probably do it in a standalone video. Paint it black like I did this. And I don't think I'll put the color shift on it on the inside. I'll probably put some of that fabric on it and we'll see. Because I don't know. I might want to collage or put an envelope or do something on the inside that I don't want to waste my color shift paint for. Ooh, I am in love with this. So I think I got, let me pull this. Let me pull it. I got rid of all my little sheets, my scrappy sheets. Let's see what's over here. I want to use up what's on my brush. I threw my scrappy sheets behind my chair. Hold a second. Let me reach over here and get some scrappy sheets. It's black, and I guess there isn't so much color shift on there. It's more black. Just squeeze it out of my brush there. Just all right, we'll put that in the water. That isn't what I thought it was, so we'll just let it dry. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in chat. Let me chat with you. Let me put the lid on this paint first. So I don't want to. All righty, let's see what's going on in chat. Doop-de-doo. I love the color shift paint. Can you see the color? Oh yeah, you guys can see it shift, can't you? You can see the purples and blues. I am not, purple and blue is not, black and gold is more my, but I can't, my black and gold is out in the dining room. I am not a purple and blue person. But I like this. But this really is not my color palette, but I like what happened here. Definitely not a Hallmark movie, though. Whatever you guys are talking about. Sue says, I'm a funky fish. I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's go with good, Suze. Renee, no, we left the wholesome hours ago. Are you guys talking dirty out there in my chat? You're not talking wholesome? Hey, you guys, first time tuning in to Meri. Hi, Michelle. You guys, when you chat, remember we've got new people like Michelle coming in. Welcome, Michelle. Glad you're here. Valerie says, my goodness, I turned my head away for 5 minutes and the cover's magically transformed. Now this part's going to be cut out. Right now, I'm just going to let it dry with the rest of it. You're weaving the story of your lives. Hi, Rosemary. Rosemary came in for a little bit. Hottie Popo has been in here. I don't know. 4 minutes ago. Welcome, Rosemary and Hottie Popo. Welcome, welcome. Rosemary is going to teach us how to do a mini rust garden, aren't you, Rosemary? I was watching Rosemary last Saturday night. Was it last Saturday night or Friday night? I can't remember. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What were you doing? I can't remember. We got talking about rusting. And Rosemary is a pro with rusting. You can see the blue turn to purple. Well, I have to be honest. Purple and blue are not my thing, but I do like this. I think I like it because of the black behind it. I like it because of the black behind it. If it was just purple and blue, and I'm not sure I'd go for it, but that black kind of gives it a vintage feel. So I can go for this. Hi, Mina. Michelle says, hey, Jersey Popo and Rosemary, fancy seeing you here. Kathy's here. Kathy, I like that idea. What did Kathy say? For my funky fish, Suze? Rose said, what did Kathy say? That was a good idea. I'm scrolling up. Now we will know where all of our missing craft supplies will go to. What did Aunt Beck says? Pretty. Did I miss what Kathy said? Oh, here it is. I think the whole is going to become a loom using the fibers she wants us to have. Just something that popped into my head. Huh. Well, that could be too. Because Lisa weaves Lisa Conway does a lot of weaving, but mine's going to be a mind map. If they uses fibers, I'm going to be mind mapping. I'm not sure. I was thinking about doing one on the cover, but now I'm not thinking mind map on the cover. I'm liking the cover just as it is. I might try to, after this all dries, I think I want to take some sandpaper and rough it up, not tear it up, but kind of make it look like it's been worn, like it's been rubbing against a whole stack of books. And I think I want to put some corners on here. Maybe black ones. I have some black leather that I got at Hobby Lobby, you know, they're scraps. That would make nice black corners. And I'm going to do Rosemary Morris's trick of putting fabric washi tape for the spine on the other side, but this is still wet. I'm just going to let this dry. So I'm not going to go up anymore. Hottie Popo and Rosemary came in. So let's go back down and see what you're chatting about now. Andrea says, Renee, we need to find you a quiet corner, one without... Why do I read these chats aloud? Oh dear, you guys. A safety space? Oh dear. Whoops. Did I put somebody in timeout? No, I don't think I did. It clicked fast. Sometimes when I scroll, I hit your name and I put Galena in timeout, or I hit her. I guess I hit her the other morning. Hi, Crafty Kitty. Welcome, welcome. Janice is here. Betty. Hi, Betty. Welcome, welcome, Betty. Dodie Lovelace. All right. Well, you know, it's only 10:16, but I'm tired, and I'm not going to go on forever tonight. I lost my list. I was going to sketch and tell the story. I was going to do a doodle. I need to catch up in my February doodle book. I think the next one I need to work on is a page of doodled Zentangle. But I'm too tired to do that tonight. I'm really running on low energy. So I think that I'm going to Meri streams every Friday night and most mornings. Yes, I do. I've been streaming a lot of mornings. This buffering issue has really tired me out this week with the buffering crap. You cannot take 2 weeks, Renee. Oh, there's Crafty Kitty. She says, I've been here for about an hour. I've been coloring from a color book I got from the half-price books on clearance for $2. Very cool, Crafty. Oh, there's Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Desert Nana. She says, you go get some good sleep, Mary. I love you. I'm kind of running on an empty tank tonight. This week really wore me out. I was worn out last week, but I kind of carried that over into this week with this buffering thing. Kind of. And it's not quite over with yet. I'm streaming from my mobile phone on Wi-Fi tonight, and there's been no buffering. So I've got some issues to resolve with my laptop. Hi, Josie. Welcome, welcome. You listen to me in the mornings, but my eyes just don't open to watch. That's quite all right. And if you fall asleep, I won't hold it against you. I won't hold it against you if you need to sleep in the morning. Because that's what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you for spending the Friday evening with me. Rosemary, are you going to stream later tonight? Rosemary is, she always does Insomniacs Unite videos. She's always a late night streamer. Let's see. Is she in here yet? You might watch for Rosemary later. I don't know if she's going to stream tonight or not. Sometimes after I stream, I'll see her on. Or maybe late Saturday night. So I think she's putting together. Oh, there you are. Are you going to stream tonight, Rosemary? If you are, what are you going to be doing? Let's tell the group. Let's tell the crowd. Maybe they'll come over. Bye, Shelley. Come on, Rosemary. Woohoo. What Jersey says. Good night, Janice. Have a great weekend, Janet. I don't know if Tanya is going to stream on Sunday night or not. Sunday afternoon. She will if she can. I think that's her story. If she can get her a good hookup wherever she's at, she'll stream. So you might watch for Tanya at noon. And I might stream, do an impromptu on Sunday evening, probably around 6 Central, because I'll be working on stuff. I don't think Rosemary told us whether she's going to stream tonight. Oh, yeah, she says it'll be a surprise for us all. So it looks like she's going to stream, and what she's going to be doing, I guess, is a surprise. Okay, good night, everybody. Thanks for spending the evening with me doing my mystery mind map funky coffee-dyed painty pages journal. I have to stand up to turn off my phone is up above. So have a good weekend. Well,